Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, May 16th, 2024. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines can expect worsening drought conditions amidst forecast of an active 2024 hurricane season. Vincentians have been urged to pay attention to the advisories coming from the SVG Meteorological Office to safeguard against impact. We hear more in this report.
Brace yourself for hotter days in the coming weeks. This is the warning coming from the SVG Meteorological Services. In an interview with SVG-TV News, meteorologist Desiree Neverson-Jack says this is bearing in mind the Atlantic hurricane season that officially starts in June.
And persons are asking the question, is it going to continue to be hot? Is it going to get cooler? We have entered the heat season. I am sorry, it is not forecasted to get cooler. It is forecasted to get more hot, peaking in September due to high humidity.
Neverson-Jack explained that the current drought season SVG and other countries are facing was forecasted months ago.
So I am saying to persons now when I'm asked what is taking place now in the country, we are seeing the lingering effect of that drought that was forecasted since in December. What was forecasted is that it is going to be a hot year. It has been hot. It has been hot since last year. And the sea surface temperature is not cooling down. It's cooling down, but it is cooling down at a slow rate. So just imagine consistent sea surface temperatures around 27.5 degrees Celsius from since last year.
Meantime, some showers are expected intermittently before the start of the hurricane season.
Some showers are forecast for tonight into Friday, lingering along Friday. But at the same time, Saharan dust intrusion is forecast as Friday progresses into the weekend.
And predictions for an active hurricane season remains on course. But according to Neverson-Jack, they are closely monitoring the Saharan dust.
Saharan dust limits cloud formation. It is something that forecasters have their eyes on. We really don't know with high confidence whether it's going to increase or if it's going to decrease. But what we were saying to the public is that either way, if it decreases, then the active hurricane season is going to be even more active because storms are going to allow to form. And if it increases, then the hot conditions are going to be even more hot and humid.
The SVG Met Services is pleading with everyone, which includes stakeholders, to pay keen attention to the weather forecasts and advisories.
When it comes to monitoring and predicting, the Met Office have been doing a good job. And we need stakeholders to use the information. We need the collaboration with the public. We have a website. Everything I just said can be found in our monthly weather bulletin that we send out via email, but we also have a website, meteor.gov.vc, where you can get our seasonal forecast.
For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
The Central Water and Sewerage Authority, CWSA, is encouraging persons in affected areas served by 5 of its water sources to report if they are not receiving water beyond the allotted rationing hours. During a news conference on Tuesday, CWSA's General Manager Winsbert Quao acknowledged that this could occur due to low water pressure.
So I wanted to take the WhatsApp notice. You could take a picture and send it if you have a particular problem. But my experience is that tell us immediately. Water's supposed to come back at a certain time. You didn't see it in a day. call the CWSA. It could be that we can do an adjustment on the line to make sure that you get water, because like that issue happens where people make a run on the system, we call it. So you may not get. So tell us so we can make an adjustment. It could be that you have a localized situation, your meter may be blocked. We've had that situation too as well. Someone called and said, "Me get water in days, I'll bring me water." When you go, it's a block at the meter. So let us know if you are in that situation, or if it is that we can't solve the problem technically, we just have to truck water to you. And if we have to do that, make sure that you have a storage container. So I have to bring it for you. But it's just the nature of the situation.
Kwawe said the disruptions were inevitable given the ongoing dry spell being experienced across the country.
We can't do it by ourselves. Let me be very honest with you. It will take a collaborative effort. We are trying what we can to do the best, to put in the best technical solution. We depend on a resource that is not under our control, but we also depend on you, our customers, to inform us, to let us know when you have a problem, and also to be prepared in terms of having some storage capacity. So if we have to deliver water to you, you can receive that water, or even to make your home more water secure in the future. And this is not just for the dry season. Remember, we have the wet season, the rainy season coming up, and there could be service disruptions. Yeah. So what we are saying here is not just for the dry season. I want you to get that as well. We are a vulnerable country. We have, where we are, probably one of the most vulnerable countries in the world. We are exposed to cyclones. We have a volcano. And now with climate change, we can have dry conditions. So as a people, we have to get more resilient. All of us, the authority and you as a customer as well, so that we can sustain the impacts of climate change.
Meanwhile, CWS's Public Relations Officer, Joan Ryan, is encouraging schools and other institutions to ensure that there is no unnecessary water wastage.
Institutions to please keep an eye on your usage and the taps. At the end of the day, at the end of the work day, ensure that all taps are closed. If there are leaks, report them to the appropriate agency for an immediate fix. This is not a time when we could turn a blind eye. I am expecting that all institutions of government would take this seriously and ensure that at the end of each break period, for the schools in particular, that all taps are closed, and at the end of the workday, that everything is locked down tight so that there is no wastage overnight, because that can really drain the system, as Marco would tell you.
The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is happy to host the ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup Trophy Tour and the upcoming matches. So says Acting Prime Minister Montgomery Daniel, who at the welcome ceremony for the coveted trophy at the Argyle International Airport yesterday said when the application came to the Cabinet for SVG to host matches for the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup 2024, though there were some concerns with cost, the decision to host the matches was accepted easily.
Why? Because though the Cabinet had concern of the tremendous costs involved for hosting this activity, the Cabinet equally recognized the benefits and the value that would be added here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines with the presence of T20 World Cup cricket here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Cabinet recognized that there will be a rich history, a rich legacy coming out of this activity. For not only would have been tremendous improvements in the facilities across the country, but is in exposing especially our youngsters in the sport of cricket. We value very much the improvement in all of the facilities that has been identified by the Minister of Sports, because we see 5 of the 6 lights already up at the Arnoldsville playing field, and we welcome this level of improvement. Of course, I know that Vincentians, particularly the cricket fans who would have over the years gone to the Arnoldsville playing field and to look at cricket, how much they welcome night cricket here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And in a few days from now, that dream will become a reality. Though, of course, in some of our local avenues that we would have seen one or two competitions mimicking with lights beyond 6 o'clock, and they would have done well. But that is only to tell you the thirst that exists with cricket fans here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
SVG is expected to host at the upgraded Arnisville playing field 3 Group D matches on the 13th, 14th and 16th June, as well as 2 Super 8 matches on the 22nd and 24th June for the ICC T20 World Cup 2024. Vincimas 2024 will be officially launched tomorrow, Friday, May 17th at Unity Square, with activities commencing at 4 p.m. The Carnival Development Corporation, CDC, says the launch will be done in collaboration with the ICC World Cup Trophy under the theme Runs and Rhythm. The CDC says to kickstart the event, junior winners from all categories, both primary and secondary schools, will be featured. Following this, the DNA parade will be done, where performances from the Boozy Back, Monkey Band, Bobber Dancers, Traditional Juve, T-shirt band, steel bands, and drumming group, etc. would be showcased. This parade is expected to commence at the Financial Complex, journey along Bay Street, and then return to the starting point via Back Street. The official launch ceremony is expected to start at 7 p.m. and would include speeches from Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James, and also from the chairman of the CDC, Ricardo Adams. The CDC says there will also be an entertainment package dubbed Flow First Run, where 10 artists will be selected to compete for a grand prize of $5,000. 3 guest artists are expected to perform at this event. They include Fire Empress, El Pank, and Keith Currency. Other elements of Vincimas, such as Mass and Pan, are also expected to be featured at tomorrow's launching event. With only 15 days left before the National Firearms Amnesty Program comes to an end, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force is urging all citizens to take the opportunity to hand in all illegal firearms and ammunition. Noting that the gun amnesty, which began on March 1st, 2024 and concludes on May 31st, 2024, is a critical step in its efforts to reduce the proliferation of illegal firearms in the country. The SVG-PF is also reminding the public that the recent amendments to the Firearm Act have reinforced a stringent stance against illegal firearms and urge citizens to take the matter seriously and do their part in making SVG a safer place for everyone. To date, the SVG-PF says the public has responded by handing over 13 firearms and 291 rounds of ammunition. While commending these efforts, the SVG-PF is encouraging more participation as the amnesty deadline approaches and appeals to all residents to encourage those in possession of illegal firearms and ammunition to hand them over. Noting that the amnesty presents a unique opportunity to turn in illegal firearms without fear of prosecution and to help foster a more peaceful environment for citizens and visitors, the SVG-PF is reminding the public that firearms can be surrendered at the nearest police station or to designated community leaders, including ministers of religion, justices of the peace, parliamentarians, lawyers, or authorized firearms dealers. Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sustainable Development, Carlos James, has said the cultural industry is expected to be boosted with a major project planned for the cruise ship berth. The minister, who was speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Cultural, Educational and Wellness Center recently, said that is part of a broader vision at creating a cultural hub in SVG.
We're looking at the grand plan of expanding the cruise terminal in Kingston, Port Kingston, and within that space, we are looking keenly at how we can build out another facility, essentially a cultural hub for all of the creatives, where it will be the mecca of the facilities. And I can assure you that that one is one we'll put a lot of attention and resources on in building and engendering national pride and showing our cultural and creative stakeholders that this government is putting the resources and the infrastructure behind all of the talent. Look at the youngsters who are here showing and displaying their skills, and many more of those. The legacy that we're building out the supported mechanisms and the framework for people and young people like that.
Commenting on the Cultural, Educational and Wellness Center at Park Hill, Minister James said it is one of many that will be emulated in different communities.
But we're doing it in a very smart way to ensure that it's environmentally friendly. We look at all of the conservative methods of using energy and ensuring the longevity of these facilities for many years to come. I am speaking here because I represent the cultural industries and the many stakeholders who will be benefiting the use of this facility. And this such facility, within the next 24 months, we will have, in addition to the construction of this facility, just down the road in Bellevue, we'll be building out the cultural and artistic hub. And just across on the western side of the island, we'll be building out one in Tromuka and also one in Pittet in North Leeward. And between these four facilities, we're talking in excess of $30 million being spent on cultural and artistic hubs, with addition to wellness and so on, across St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Minister James added that every child will be given the opportunity to get into the cultural aspect of this country as they explore their creative side.
I am hoping from culture we can look at the build out and the reform and the further reform of the National Cultural Foundation, because we'll have a lot of work to do in terms of the framework that we put in place to manage, to host the curriculum for some of these training across the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're talking about additional staff, ramping up our recurrent expenditure, ensuring that we have training of the trainers so we can spread the knowledge far and wide across the country. And a part of building up this hope, building up this vision, building up the creative imagination of our people. And no better way to do it than within this period where you have seen so many come to life, so many things that were spoken of before.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines will celebrate Fisherman's Day on May 20th, 2024 at the Calico Playing Field with a series of activities. The theme for this year's Fisherman's Day celebration is "Fish is food, fish is life, leave no fisher behind," and the slogan, "Fish sustainably for a blue economy." A highlight of the activities of the fishing competition, in which the Fisherman of the Year will be decided. A news release from the Fisheries Division says registration for this year's competition started on Monday, May 13th and ends on Saturday, May 18th. This year marks the 47th anniversary of Fisherman's Day celebrations in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.